What if the greatest obstacle to your success isn't external, but internal? Many chase achievement, thinking more effort or a new strategy is the answer. But what if the secret lies in something far simpler, yet profoundly overlooked? Accepting yourself exactly as you are. I know what you're thinking, and that sounds too soft, too passive. How can acceptance be powerful in a world that demands hustle, drive, ambition, and constant improvement? What's fueling your ambition right now? Love or shame? Are you chasing success because you believe in your value? Or are you running from a version of yourself you've never learned to love? You can achieve everything and still feel like nothing if you've never accepted yourself. You can build empires, stack wealth, gain recognition, and yet still feel hollow if it all came from a place of fear. You want to know why you sabotage your progress? Why you never feel ready enough or good enough? Why every compliment feels like a lie and every failure feels like confirmation? It's because you're trying to build a life on top of self-rejection, and that foundation cracks under pressure every single time. You've been taught to chase better, but no one told you that healing comes first. You've been taught to grind harder, but no one taught you to stop hating the person doing the grinding. And this is where most people get stuck. They build their identity around performance instead of presence, around image instead of integrity. And the more they win, the more fake it feels. Because deep down, they never accepted the person behind the progress. Self-acceptance isn't about giving up. It's not about settling. It's about anchoring yourself before the storm hits. It's about knowing that you are enough right now, and from that wholeness, you grow. You don't wait until you fix yourself to feel worthy. You accept your imperfections as part of your power. Because confidence isn't pretending you're perfect. It's owning your truth without apology. The world is loud. It'll tell you you're not tall enough, smart enough, rich enough, fast enough. And if you don't have a strong root of self-acceptance, you'll bend to every opinion. You'll break at every rejection. You'll become a slave to other people's approval. But when you accept yourself, truly, deeply, unapologetically, you become untouchable. You stop chasing validation. You stop performing. And for the first time, you start living. You begin creating from truth, not desperation. You make choices aligned with your core, not with your fears. And that's when achievement becomes effortless. Not because the work is easy, but because you're not at war with yourself anymore. So the real question isn't, how do I achieve more? It's, can I accept myself even before I arrive? Because if you can't love who you are now, what makes you think success will change that? What if everything you're seeking is already inside you, just waiting to be accepted, not earned? Number 1, the achievement trap, when success becomes a disguise. They chase it to escape themselves, not because they believe they're enough, but because deep down, they fear they're not. This is the trap. You start thinking, if I work harder, achieve more, impress them, become someone, then I'll finally be enough. So you climb, grind, hustle, and bleed, not out of purpose, but out of pain. The world applauds it. It rewards your ability to mask your self-rejection with shiny accomplishments. It celebrates the burnout, the overworking, the sleepless nights, without ever asking why you're doing it. You build a life that looks great on the outside, but the inside, it's filled with pressure, anxiety, and this lingering emptiness that success can't seem to silence. You see, when you build your life around proving your worth, you never feel safe enough to pause. You fear rest, because rest makes you feel worthless. You fear slowing down, because if you're not achieving, who are you? And that's the wound. You start confusing achievement with identity. Your titles, your money, your milestones, they become your mask. And without them, you don't know who you are. No amount of success can fix the pain of self-rejection. You can change your car, your job, your body, even your circle. But if you haven't changed how you see yourself, you'll just keep running in a more expensive outfit. You'll keep needing more validation, more applause, more wins. And every time you get them, it'll feel good for a second. Until that old voice whispers again, it's still not enough. This is why people burn out. Not from doing too much, but from constantly trying to be someone they're not. Real peace? It doesn't come when you've earned everything. It comes when you stop running from yourself. And that begins not with more goals, but with more grace. It begins when you can look in the mirror, not to judge or criticize, but to finally say, I am enough, not because I've done everything, but because I've survived everything. Number 2, how self-rejection sabotages your greatness silently. Self-rejection is quiet. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It's the voice that says, you're not ready yet, even when you are. It's the hesitation before you speak up, the doubt before you start, the shame after you win. And it's dangerous because it wears the mask of humility or realism. But make no mistake, it's not humility, it's a mental trap, a form of internal sabotage disguised as caution. How many opportunities have you passed up because you didn't think you were good enough? How many times have you sat in a room full of people doubting your value, thinking they had something you didn't? This is how self-rejection works. You don't need critics on the outside, because the biggest one is already living inside your head. And even worse, when you don't accept yourself, you won't believe people who do. Compliments feel fake. Support feels suspicious. Love feels like a setup, because if you haven't given yourself permission to be enough, no one else's approval will ever feel real. So what happens? You start overcompensating. You work harder, not to express your gifts, but to prove your existence. You become addicted to overthinking, over-delivering, over-explaining. And slowly, your authentic self, the version of you that once felt bold, free, creative, gets buried under the pressure to perform for love, for respect, for belonging. The world might applaud your performance, but they'll never meet the real you. You'll win, but it won't feel like a win. You'll succeed, but it won't feel like success, because no trophy fills the void of self-abandonment. That's the cost of chasing greatness without acceptance. It's like pouring water into a cup with a hole at the bottom. No matter how much you pour in, it always leaks out. So the question becomes, what are you chasing, and who are you chasing it for? Are you building for freedom, or just running from the fear that without achievement, you'll be nothing? Because once you truly accept who you are, you stop begging the world to tell you what you're worth. You don't walk into rooms needing permission. You walk in knowing your presence is already the proof. Number 3, self-acceptance is not settling. It's releasing your full power. Self-acceptance is not complacency. It's not laziness. It's not sitting around saying, this is just who I am, and doing nothing about it. Self-acceptance is the starting line, not the finish. It's saying, here's where I am. I'm not going to lie about it, hide from it, or hate myself because of it. But I will grow from here, because I'm finally being honest with myself. You don't build a skyscraper pretending the ground is higher than it is. You build it by laying a foundation on solid truth. When you accept yourself, flaws and all, you stop wasting energy on pretending, and you start investing energy in becoming. Most people are trapped in the lie of fixing themselves, always chasing the next upgrade, next version, next mask. But what if the real growth begins when you stop trying to fix yourself like a broken machine and start developing yourself like a powerful, living force? You're not broken. You're buried. Under years of comparison, rejection, shame, and false expectations. And when you finally say, this is me, I'm done fighting myself, I'm ready to build, That's when momentum begins. You begin setting goals from clarity, not insecurity. You take action from purpose, not panic. You lead from truth, not performance. And the world senses it. Your presence shifts. People feel the difference. Because self-acceptance radiates power, not because it's loud, but because it's grounded. You don't have to beg for a seat at the table. You walk in and become the table. You stop waiting for someone to see your worth. You start making moves that prove your worth to yourself. And when you operate from that place, you no longer fear rejection. Because if you already accept yourself, rejection isn't a threat, it's just redirection. That's how self-acceptance becomes your secret weapon, not as a finish line, but as a fuel line. Number 4, the world treats you how you treat yourself. The world is watching how you treat yourself, and it takes notes. If you walk into a room already doubting your worth, don't be surprised when others question it too. But when you walk in with quiet conviction, not arrogance, not ego, but a deep-rooted certainty that you belong, you shift the atmosphere without even speaking. Why? Because energy doesn't lie. People feel when you're performing. They sense when you're people-pleasing just to be liked. But they also feel when you're anchored, when you've already accepted who you are and you're not negotiating that truth for anyone. That's power. Self-acceptance creates a gravitational pull. You stop chasing validation and start attracting respect. Because people are drawn to those who aren't desperate for approval. You become more magnetic, not by pretending to be perfect, but by being real and unshakable. You don't need to broadcast your resume. You don't need to defend your every choice. Your presence speaks for itself. Because when you've accepted yourself, no one can use your flaws against you. That's the shift. They can mock your past, and it won't faze you. They can misunderstand your silence, and you won't feel the urge to explain. Because you're not playing by their rules anymore. You're not trying to win their game. You're building your own arena. And that's intimidating to people who've never met someone that whole. This is where things begin to change. Period. Doors open that used to stay shut. People listen who used to ignore. Opportunities show up that once felt out of reach. Not because the world changed, but because you changed how you show up in the world. The more you accept yourself, the less room there is for manipulation, for guilt trips, for fake friendships, and surface-level success. You stop asking for permission, and you start giving yourself the authority. And the irony? The more self-respect you carry, the more the world respects you back. That's not a coincidence. That's alignment. Number 5, self-acceptance isn't the end. It's the beginning of true growth. Self-acceptance doesn't mean settling. It doesn't mean staying stuck, avoiding challenge, or saying, "This is just who I am," forever. That's resignation. Self-acceptance is the foundation, not the finish line. It means looking in the mirror, flaws, wounds, chaos and all, and saying, "I see you. I know where you've been, and I still believe you're worth building." You can't grow what you hate. You can't heal what you keep denying. You can't elevate from a place of inner war. And that's where most people lose. They hustle from pain. They build from insecurity. They grind to outrun their own reflection. That kind of achievement, it burns you out. It empties your soul. And no trophy, no follower count, no number in the bank will ever fill that gap. But when you accept yourself, you don't chase success to prove something. You pursue it because it's aligned with who you are. You grow not from shame, but from vision. You evolve because you see potential, not because you're trying to erase your past. That's a different kind of growth. It's cleaner, stronger, sustainable. Think about this. Period. A seed has to be accepted before it's planted. You don't criticize it for not being a tree yet. You nurture it, protect it, and then, with time and the right conditions, it grows into everything it was designed to be. You are no different. Self-acceptance is the soil. Discipline is the water. Vision is the sunlight. But But none of it matters if you don't believe you're worthy of growth in the first place. People who skip this step build impressive lives on broken foundations. They make millions while feeling empty. They win awards but cry behind closed doors. Because what's missing is never out there, it's internal. When you finally stop trying to become someone else, you'll discover the strength to become everything you were meant to be. That's the paradox. You don't need to be perfect to start. You need to be real, rooted, honest, and accepting. Because once you accept yourself, your gifts, your pain, your journey, you finally give yourself permission to rise. And when you rise from wholeness, nothing can shake you. Not critics, not losses, not rejection. Because the foundation is solid, and it was built from within. So here's the truth. Simple, quiet, and unshakable. You don't need to become someone else to succeed. You need to become more of yourself. Not the edited version, not the masked version, but the real you. Raw, honest, evolving. Because achievement without self-acceptance is empty. It's loud applause in a silent room. It's chasing validation from a world that doesn't even know your name. But achievement built on self-acceptance? That's different. That's purpose-driven. That's the kind of success that feels like peace, not pressure. So stop waiting for permission. Stop thinking you need to fix yourself to matter. You matter now. And from that truth, you rise. Speak kinder to yourself. Trust the process. Own your scars and build anyway. Because the most powerful transformation doesn't start in the world. It starts in the mirror. Now go out there, own who you are, and build without shame. Your journey isn't behind, it's just beginning. And the world hasn't seen your best yet, but it will. Stay grounded, stay rising, stay you.